The room fell silent as Donald Trump stepped up to the podium, his familiar confidence filling the space before he even spoke. Flanked by advisors and reporters eager for their next headline, he adjusted his tie, took a breath, and then, with a characteristic tilt of his head, he made his statement. "I believe it's time for the UK to reconsider the sanctions on Mr. Abramovich," he declared, his voice carrying the weight of conviction. He's a businessman, a man who has contributed tremendously to the world economy. Keeping these sanctions in place, it's just not right. For a moment, there was a hush. A flicker of surprise crossed the faces of even those accustomed to his unpredictable rhetoric. It wasn't the first time Trump had waded into the realm of international affairs with an opinion that caught allies off guard. But this was unexpected. Across the Atlantic, in London, the news hit like a sudden gust of wind rattling the windows of Westminster. Roman Abramovich, the enigmatic billionaire once beloved by Chelsea fans and loathed by critics who saw him as an emblem of Russian influence, had been sanctioned by the UK government at the height of geopolitical tensions. His assets frozen, his presence unwelcome, he had become a symbol of the West's defiance against Putin's inner circle. Now, here was Trump, a former US president and a man with ambitions of returning to power, calling for a reversal. The political circles of Whitehall stirred. Inside Number 10, Prime Minister Keir Starmer sat with his advisors, the weight of the moment pressing down on them. Would they respond? Dismiss it outright? Or would they be forced into a debate they had hoped was long settled? The phones buzzed incessantly, calls from reporters, from foreign diplomats, from concerned party members. The opposition wasted no time in seizing the moment, with one MP calling Trump's remarks a blatant attempt to whitewash the crimes of oligarchy. Another, more measured, warned that such statements from across the ocean could undermine the UK's hard-fought stance on sanctions. Meanwhile, Abramovich himself remained silent, his name once again dominating headlines but his voice absent from the noise. Somewhere in the world, perhaps in Israel or Turkey, where he had reportedly found some respite, he watched the news unfold, knowing that for the first time in years, the winds of power might be shifting in his favor. And as the world watched, waiting for the UK's response, one question hung in the air: was this just another Trump moment, a headline soon to be lost in the whirlwind of the next news cycle? Or was it something more, a sign that, in the corridors of power, old decisions were never truly final?